Yes, so Real Madrid safely through. Watch this one in the company of Edgar, Gaël, Clichy and John Obi Mikel. Would you say, Edgar, I know it wasn't the result you wanted, looking out for Juve, but would you say that Real did deserve it overall?
Oh, definitely. They continued what they how they finished in the first half. But pressing, you saw it. Now the pressing was much better. On time, and then Juve is in a difficult position. The solution, however, is then the top man in front, but if he's on the wrong side and the pitch is very big, he has no people to play to it. So then they could pick up the ball quick, and then they play quicker. Then you see that Jude Bellingham, he goes deep, comes from behind in the pocket. He did it very well. Yeah, and then Madrid is Madrid, and then you see in that small space. You give an assist, yeah, that's unbelievable. And Juve later on, second half, too slow, no creativity. So I'm happy there was only 1-0, to be honest.
Edgar summed it up quite well, hasn't he, in terms of Real Madrid were pretty dominant in this one.
Oh, yeah, they started the game well, obviously. But in the first half, obviously, it knocked at the door, but they just couldn't find a breakthrough. But, of course, it came in the second half with that fantastic delivery from Trent. We know what he can do with the ball. Obviously, sometimes we question his defending, but going forward with his passes and crosses, and, of course, fantastic finish from the young man, Gonzalo. He's been absolutely fantastic. Who needs Kylian Mbappe when you have Gonzalo? But, no, brilliant.
Come on now.
He just wants to point out that he was saying that pre-match. That's all you're trying to say, isn't it?
He's pushing.
I'm pushing for the young lad. He's been on fire. This is what we love to see, you know, the young players getting the opportunities, and they take it, you know what I mean? And he's taking this opportunity. It's going to be hard for Xabi Alonso now to all of a sudden just take him off. Yes, Kylian Mbappe is a fantastic finisher, he's a fantastic player, but you got to give the young man, you know, he's performed really well in this tournament.
We'll get Gaël's thoughts in just a moment, but let's now hear from the Real Madrid boss. Xabi Alonso has been speaking with Matt Kenan.
We're joined by Xabi Alonso. Xabi, what's your immediate assessment of the game?
Yeah, really delighted with the result, going through with the performance as well. I think that after the first 15 minutes we started getting good control and we had to work. It was going to be tough, but we did pretty professional and really well.
During the water break, we saw you with your notepad out. I don't know if there was a change in system, if you tweaked anything, and what was your message at the break to the players?
Yeah, they were so tight in the middle that the space was outside, so we needed to move them front side to the with good tempo and try to overload more on the outside than inside because they were quite tight in the middle.
I've got to ask you about Gonzalo. Another game, another goal. He's been absolutely spectacular. What have you made of his performances?
Oh, that's what strikers meant to do, to score, to be in the right position, in the right moment, and he did great, again.
Absolutely, and one last one. Obviously, we saw Kylian Mbappe return. I don't know what you made of his performance. I don't know if coming into the next game you might have a slight selection dilemma given how good Gonzalo's been.
Yeah, for sure. He will have more training, he will have more days to recover, so he will feel better, and we will check.
Xabi, thank you very much and well done.
Yeah, it's not a bad headache to have, is it? Whether you can start Mbappe, whether you start one or the other, abundance, whether you start Garcia, we're not going to go into that. Again, I just wanted to pick up on what Matt asked him about there, that slight tactical change, and you actually noticed him make that in game.
There's a few things. Defensively, you know, he allowed Tchouaméni to push and to go and get one player when the striker was dropping. That's the first thing. But what we said half-time, when you manage to find those players behind the line to affect the wing-backs and the wide centre-backs defence with five men, you will find spaces. And we've seen often all the chances created by Madrid came from Arda Güler. You know, he's from far, but he could deliver the ball in the space. And I think when you have players like Trent, Arnold, of course, you know, Obi said, you know, defensively it's not his main attribute, but with the ball at his feet, he can put the ball anywhere. So you have to kind of find a way, a system to put them in the best of the condition, each players, and I think that's what he did today with that little change in the second half. But again, you know, it's not a question of who will play. Madrid will always have good players. It's a question of how long it will take Alonso to get it right. And from that moment on, Madrid will always be Madrid.
Yeah, you spoke there about the quality that Trent Alexander-Arnold does possess when he is on the ball. We did see that in the opening goal, the only goal of the game, scored by Garcia. Go on, you want to talk about it again, don't you, Mikel? You talk us through just how good this was.
No, it was a brilliant goal, brilliant assist from Trent, obviously. It's good to see Trent finally, you know, settles into this Real Madrid team. It's going to take him, we knew it was going to take me a little bit of time, but the touch there and the cross. But again, the finish, this young man, he needed to be in the right position at the right time, and he was there. Look at that little step movement, and then backwards, bang, header. Keeper couldn't save that. Absolutely fantastic goal. I mean, credit to Juve. They did defend well, though, but you can only keep this Real Madrid.
You are getting daggers from Edgar Davids, because I think he would argue or suggest that maybe the defending wasn't quite so good.
I was going to say they defended really well until that.
Right, OK. Do you want to take over? Do you want to pick up on that from a defensive point of view?
No, but it's already what we said in the first half with Madrid. It's not only like the quality passes. It's like when you slip up, they will punish you. And it was also the first half. One player was not walking with you. There was already a chance, and they have a history of that, and that makes you. That's a difference between a good side and a top side. When you make one mistake, they punish you. And Madrid is the example for that.
You said earlier that you were relieved in the end that it was just 1-0. A large reason that it was just 1-0 was the performance in goal of Igor. He made some stunning saves, didn't he?
Yes, that is true. But also, what I said is Madrid was not really pushing. The second half, they were pushing more. And then you say they press. Then Juve has a big problem. And here, that chance, you know, he saved well, but it happened before that they don't pick up a man. And if you make that mistake, they're going to punish you. Now, this is a very good save, but I think he did very well. But all in all, Juve didn't really create a lot of chances. They were too slow.
Yeah, he made 10 saves in total. That's the joint most we've seen at this competition. He was kept busy, wasn't he?
It's good for a goalkeeper to make save, but it just tells you that the team is not performing the way you want it. I played against Tudor's side when he was in Galatasaray, and usually his team are always a bit fragile defensively. It was the same when he went to Marseille. Beautiful football, scoring goals, but defensively, always spaces for the opponent. So I totally agree with Edgar. I think Madrid didn't perform especially well. They did enough to win the game, you know, couple of shots from long distance, but for sure they will just raise the bar because you feel that with the player they have, they will get better.
Is it a mentality thing, or is it just the fact that the quality in the Juve side just isn't good enough to be able to defend at the level they need to?
No, but it's not about defend the level you're talking about Real Madrid. I mean, like they are how many titles?
15.
15 champions. It's unbelievable. They have always extra quality. So, and that's the power. You can defend whatever you want, but they will always find a way, and that is their superpower.
You said there, though, that potentially Real weren't at their best today. Did you feel like they did take another step further forward in their progress in these early days under Alonso?
Of course. Listen, if we look at the first game they played, we were sitting here thinking, well, that wasn't good enough. But step by step, they're looking much, much better. Vinicius Jr. is looking much, much better. And again, I know I talk about it. Jude Bellingham playing from that position. Everything was going through him. He was in the box. He was in the middle of the pitch, you know, trying to get the ball, half turn, creating chances. He was everywhere, and that's what you want to see. So slowly, they're starting to have this understanding of how the manager wants them to play. And of course, Trent on that right side, again, going forward, creating chances. I think they will get better. And one player we haven't talked about is Dean Huijsen. Absolutely fantastic. You know, he read the game. He defended really, really well. For a 20-year-old, the way he plays with such experience is absolutely fantastic to see.
OK, we'll talk about Real in a bit more detail very shortly. But let's now get the Juventus perspective. Igor Tudor has been speaking to Anita Jones.
Commiserations, Igor. How do you reflect on your side's performance today?
No, I need to make congratulations to my guys because they give everything. We make one serious game in this condition where it was impossible to do anything. It was not enough, but that's the football, okay? It was a good game from Juventus. But Real was better, and congratulations to them.
A word on your goalkeeper, Mikel. He made 10 saves, the joint most at the tournament. He kept you in the game for large parts of it.
Yeah, he made good save. He was good today.
And then just in terms of the overall performance, do you feel, although it's not the result you wanted, you're out of the tournament, you're leaving on a high at least, a huge improvement from that last game against Manchester City?
No, there is no improvement. We lose same like the first game. Every game is a different, you know. This was a different kind of game, and that's all.
Thank you.
He says there, Edgar, no improvement. He's not happy. But did you see signs of improvement today? Was the performance markedly better than against Manchester City?
Yeah, I think so. But I like how he said it. And I know, listen, because people don't understand, like, when you're in a side as Juventus, Madrid, Barcelona, top side, there's no excuse. You lose, you have to improve, and that's it. You cannot say you improved and you lose. And I think that mentality, that you need to improve.
Whilst Juventus did lose, eventually they started the game well, didn't they? They had those early chances. It feels like a very long time ago now. But had these been scored, Gaël, it could have been a very different game.
It's always the same. The first team who will score the goal will open up the game. But that was probably one of the ways for them that they identified to hurt Madrid. Again, you know, one-on-one, you should do better. You will expect better, but it's a very long run. You know, full speed is probably 50, 60 meters. It's never easy. You know, we will want him to hit the target, but it's never easy. It didn't happen, and then after Madrid, you know, we've said, you know, the Bellingham, the Arda Güler, you know, on the ball more and more. Obviously, the more you press, the more you have the ball, the more you get closer to the ball, the more chances you will create, and obviously you have a chance to score. So I think it's a deserved win for Madrid, but like we've seen, I think Juve lack probably 2 or 3 creative players to kind of be able to break down a team. I think they didn't have enough today. It was pretty much not chaotic, but only Yildiz could have made something one-on-one. As soon as he came off, there were nothing for them to play for.
Can they take anything from this, the fact that they made this many chances against Real Madrid?
Exactly. Listen, it is an improvement coming from the game also against City. They lost 5-2 against City. And now today it's just 1-0. They played well. They created chances. We could see that. That is another step. And like you said, I think for me, it only went downhill when Yildiz came off. Because for me, he was the only player who was trying to create stuff. You know, the combination, the partnership between him and Muani was absolutely fantastic. You know, we could see that chance there, the flick from Muani, and then, of course, the run. Muani made Rudiger look so slow. I know Rudiger is fast, but he makes him look so slow there. But for me, I think it's a massive step for them. The manager knows exactly what he's doing, and I think it's going to take them time. They need time in the training ground for him to implement the style he wants them to play. And I think that Juventus are going to come back looking stronger again.
Are you feeling all right? You just criticised someone that played quite well for Chelsea. That's not like you. That's not like you. You did mention Kenan Yildiz. Then he's been speaking with Anita Jones. Let's hear from him now.
Kenan, commiserations, but I just wanted to ask about the shirt in your hand for a moment there.
I got 2. I got one from Arda and Dean in the halftime. Yeah, that will be at my home, so amazing.
How tough is it today? Because we saw a much improved performance from that last game against Manchester City.
No, like I said before the game, we worked hard, we trained good. Yeah, we did a good match, but at the end, it's also Real Madrid. What they do is amazing, and compliment to them.
Having played this Real Madrid side, do you see them as one of the favourites to go on a win?
I didn't hear.
Having now played this Real Madrid side, do you see them as one of the favourites to go on to win the tournament?
Oh, I don't know yet. I can say they have a big potential to win the trophy maybe, but let's see at the end. They have other good teams also.
Thank you.
Yeah, we heard from Yildiz pre-match and we've heard from him there. You can kind of sense the differing moods. He was quite buoyant pre-match, wasn't he? And he sounded obviously understandably very flat there. Did we see in his performance today, though, that he is the man that should be starting for Juventus up front? He didn't start against Manchester City and perhaps maybe he should have.
Yeah, but a game is not 45 minutes. You understand? Like,
yeah.
he did well in the beginning, but later on, he couldn't adjust to the style of Real Madrid. You know, they what I said, you know, like they raised the tempo, and then you saw, for him it was difficult. and also the distance to the goal is getting bigger. So I think that we can conclude first 25 minutes, he did very, very well, but then he's not better, and like the team, he went backwards.
OK, well, it's time for us to take a short break right now, but plenty more analysis and reaction to come as...
Thibaut, congratulations, you're through to the quarter-finals. A word on the performance today?
Yeah, I think we had a good game. I think we started a bit feeling how the game was going. They defended a bit more than we expected. So then we got caught on the counter-attack 2 or 3 times, but lucky they didn't score on that after we tried to control the game a bit more. In halftime, we said to pass faster from one side to the other to find them after the free man. And I think the second half we had a lot of chances. Their goalkeeper did really well. We scored, lucky the goal, and then I think we defended well. The second goal didn't fall for us, but still I think we had a good defensive game today, because I think in the second half they shot twice, so it means we had a good defense.
You're one of the more senior players in the dressing room. After the first game, you were very open and honest about how you thought there were mistakes being made that shouldn't be made. You've now played 4 games under Xabi Alonso. How do you see the side adjusting to his style of play?
No, in the end, sometimes when you come into half-time like this, you're a bit tense, and obviously after when I saw it again, it was a really light fall. So, but in the end, we are really open in the dressing room and with the coach, like to say what we think. I think it's not really the mistake. It's just we can all make mistakes. We just want to push everyone to be on top and to be focused every second of the game. And I don't mind, like someone can tell to me also, we're really open with each other, and that's a good thing of our team. And I think we are keeping growing. We're doing a lot of videos, we try to do better, and each game goes better, and that's the way to go, to finish this first part with him hopefully in the final, and then after holiday and then after to start for the new season. But it's going well, and as I say, we are really open. Everyone can say his word, even a young guy from 18, he can say something to me. It doesn't mean because I'm 33 that someone cannot say something to me. So that's a good open relationship with all the teammates, and that paves the way for success.
High standards in the dressing room. Just very quickly, Trent got his first assist as a Real Madrid player. He got 86 for Liverpool. Do you think he's going to get as many or more?
I hope so. I think he could have had already a few these 4 games. I think his pre-assist against Pachuca was also really good. Yeah, in training he's horrible. His kicking is amazing. His free kicks, his corner kicks is really another level. I don't think I saw really some guy with this quality of kicking and crossing. So as a goalkeeper, sometimes it's a nightmare, but it keeps you on your edge, and it keeps you to work hard and to try to save them and to make him better and myself better.
I bet you're happy to have him on your team. Congratulations, good luck in the quarterfinals.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, really honest interview there. He actually said quite a lot. Sometimes players don't say too much in those post-match interviews. Firstly, the performance of Trent Alexander-Arnold. It sounds like he's enjoying having him as a teammate.
Oh, he's enjoying himself, Trent, obviously. Listen, Trent is a world-class player. Spent over 20 years at Liverpool, and now, you know, he's made a decision to come to the biggest team in the world. And he will get better. He will get better, no doubt about it. We've all talked about his defensive side of the game, which we know is a bit questionable, but I think he will get better in that part of his game as well, in terms of defending as well. But going forward, what he gives is absolutely fantastic. You can see here, he's always showing up for the ball. Right inside of the foot, outside of the foot, he can deliver the crosses. And of course, having Jude Bellingham with him on the side definitely made him settle a little bit better.
He's certainly a Real Madrid player, and we've seen that in these opening glimpses. His first assist today, but we've seen moments of quality in the previous matches too.
I think this is when and where you see top managers, when they're capable of taking a player and making him shine through his own quality within a structure. And I think, you know, that 5 at the back with, you know, the wing backs and Trent there is kind of allowing him not to defend as much one-on-one. Hopefully they will be so strong with the ball, dominating the opponent, that he will not have to defend a lot, because this is a big thing. You know, that's for me now. I'm coaching with the under-21, and this is something that I'm always conscious about. You know, you listen to Thibaut Courtois and he's telling you about a defender that his main attribute is how he can cross the ball. If you're a defender, you need to have basics of defending. So if he can add this to his game, he will be an amazing player, because he's already very good. And if Alonso can manage to keep him in a way, if I can say, outside of that zone on one-on-one situation, of course we will see his quality because he's a top player and he's been doing it for years now.
Will 3 at the back actually help him in a way? Could it protect him? Will that suit him better?
Well, let's hope so. let's hope so. We will see. Listen, we will see next season. This is a World Cup, but for me, it's just for me friendly matches. You know, it's you look at it as I look at it from that perspective. And next season we will see when the really goings get tough, if they're still smiling.
Anita asked Thibaut Courtois then just what was said in the dressing room at half-time, and he said there was some open and honest conversations, and it certainly looked like whatever was said had an impact because they came out with a renewed energy in that second half, didn't they?
I think when you come as a manager like this, you come with your idea, your philosophy, your methodology, and you need to... I think you have 3 months to kind of implement your ideas. After that, if the results are not there, after 3 months, I think it's very difficult. So you can see a change in Madrid way of playing, and we never seen this, if we're being honest. So this is a good point, but the more we will see Madrid's playing the way we've seen Leverkusen and Real Sociedad, the better will be. But it will take time. It will take time. They will make mistakes. He will rotate some time to find the perfect balance between players. But you can see this. They're always going forward. You know, you defend going forwards. And I think top teams should be like this. I'm not saying that's the only way to win games. But I think a team like Madrid, with the history and the players and everything that we know about them, they have to be able to guide the team and not accept to defend, but to going forward. So I think this is what we want. He's always on his feet, always talking to his players. Young manager will try to transmit this to their players. And you cannot ask your players to give full energy if you are just there and being passive as the manager. That's fascinating for me to see.
Mikel, give me an insight, because something that fascinates me as someone that hasn't played, quite clearly, top-level football, in case anyone was wondering. How difficult is it to learn a new style as quickly as these Real Madrid players are being asked to?
Real Madrid have always been a team that presses high. They've always pressed high. But I think the first game, we didn't see enough of that. But today we saw that. They always press high. And it's nice to see Jude Bellingham leading that press. When he goes, everybody then goes. You know, you see Vinicius Junior pressing. But that's something that is good to see. As a team like Real Madrid, they dominate the ball. They also have to dominate the pressing as well. Because once they dominate people in terms of pressing, they recover the ball quickly, and then they will have more possession of the ball. And it's so nice to see that's something that Xabi Alonso is trying to transmit again back into this team. We didn't see that in the first game, we saw that in the second game, and now we can see a lot of that. If they can continue to play like this, they will dominate teams. And of course, Real Madrid, as you know, once they dominate teams in terms of pressing, they have the ball, then their quality is there for everybody to see.
Exactly as we saw tonight. OK, let's head back to Miami now. Anita is joined once again by Sami Khedira.
Well, there's a lot of calm here now in the Hard Rock Stadium as Real Madrid have booked their place in the quarterfinals at the FIFA Club World Cup. Sami, what were your thoughts on that performance?
To be honest, it was, especially in the first half, a terrible game on both sides. At least Juventus defended quite good, but then in the second half, Madrid improved a bit. At least they have been a bit lucky with the header of Gonzalo, but at the end, it was not a good match from both sides. I do understand it's super hot, super humid, but at least the intensity was not that high, and quality-wise, a bit better from the Madrid side.
In terms of what Xabi Alonso can take going into the next game, we saw a glimpse of Kylian Mbappe. He came off the bench. Despite having lost something like 5 kilos, he looked very sharp.
I don't know if it's healthy or not, but yeah, because of his illness or sickness, yes. he lost a lot of weight. But yeah, as you can hear here in the stadium, the people love him, you know, and maybe it could bring some more energy. We all know him. He has a lot of quality. If he come back on shape, and then he's yeah, so helpful for this Real Madrid. And it could be that he could start the next game in the quarter.
A word on Trent Alexander-Arnold as well. He got his first assist in a Real Madrid shirt. He got 86 for Liverpool. First in 3 games. He looks like he could be on his way to that number as well.
He has to. He has to adapt quite well because and fast, because Real Madrid is special. It's not that any other place in the world of football. So you need to adapt super fast. Otherwise, you got criticism quite fast from the crowd, from the media, even from your own club, from the owner. So better that he adapts quite good, well, but he's doing a good job. He needs to improve, but his cross was quite amazing. This is what he can do.
So they'll be facing Dortmund or Monterrey in the quarterfinals. Who do you think they prefer to face?
Well, we were discussing a lot about this tournament, and as we saw yesterday, the underdogs went through. So yeah, maybe on paper Dortmund as a European team has like a bit more advantage, but in my point of view it's like a equal game, a 50-50 game. So Monterrey did a really good job in the group stage with their leader Sergio Ramos, so they're super intense and hard to play, so it will be a really close game. In my point of view, it's like a 50-50, and obviously, I hope I can see Sergio Ramos, but on the other hand, I'm German, I hope that Dortmund go through. Yeah,
fantastic storylines there. If it's Dortmund, then it could be Bellingham brothers against each other, but as you mentioned, Monterrey, Sergio Ramos coming up against the club that he won so many titles with. Of course, you know him very well. Sami, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here for the game. Enjoy the quarterfinals. That's it here from the Hard Rock Stadium. Real Madrid are through to the quarterfinals of the FIFA Club World Cup.
Anita, thank you so much. Hope she's off for a lie down now, because we've certainly kept her busy this evening, haven't we? Great to have Sami Khedira with us on the DAZN app as well. Let's talk a little bit more about where Juventus are currently at. They're obviously heading home now. They'll be licking their wounds, but also looking ahead to next season. You're laughing, but whereabouts are they in Italian football, in world football, and how far have they got to go to get back to the top?
I think they have to rebuild. They had some disastrous seasons behind them. Now they came in with luck in 4th place just for Champions League, but then you also have to build for a Champions League team, because you cannot be Juventus and just play. When you play Champions League as a club as Juventus, you have to compete. So I think that is, there's going to be a hard one for them this season.
You mentioned their building blocks. One of the building blocks the club could be looking to put in place, if you're to believe what transfer guru Fabrizio Romano is saying. He's saying that sometimes they're close to reaching an agreement with Jonathan David. He's a free agent at the moment. He was, of course, at Lille last season, got 25 goals there. Is he the kind of player that the club should be going for?
Oh, definitely. They definitely need some goals, and they definitely need somebody in the defence as well. So, but it's when you go Champions League, you cannot have one player. You know, like if you see now, I was talking with Obi. Chelsea have how many? How many players does Chelsea have?
About almost 50.
Almost 50. Almost 50. You know.
We need to sell some.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So now Juventus, now you have barely one team. No, you have to compete, because you have to win the Serie A. You have to do well in Champions League. Coppa Italia is not that big for us. It's not like but you have to compete. So you need a strong and big squad. And that requires money.
It does. You may have seen the stat that we just put on the screen there. It actually said that in the top 5 leagues in Europe, only 6 players have scored more goals than Jonathan David. I think it's over the last 4 seasons. So he certainly comes with pedigree. I take your points that it's not all going to be about him getting them back to the top of European and world football. But it does feel like he could be the right calibre of player.
He's a great player. He plays in Lille, so obviously I've watched him a few times. Lille was depending on him a lot, so he's a very strong player. He's fast, he can link up well. But the only question is, when you look at that team, Madrid team, you can already see a glimpse of what we've seen last year and the year before at Leverkusen from Alonso. When you look at the Juventus team tonight and the game before, you don't really see something coming out of the game. You don't see, okay, this team is going to play like that. So, of course, you need...
An identity.
Yeah, an identity. Yeah. So, of course, you need players. But before having players, you need to know how you want to play. When I've been looking at this team during this competition, I don't see what they will be able to propose. You know, today, like Edgar said, first half was just long balls. I think the goalkeeper touched the ball 12 times and he kicked the ball 10 times long. The manager was asking Colomwani to hold the ball, but he was alone against 3 players. You need to have a clear methodology, a clear game plan, so your player can actually follow you. And once you have this clear and set, then you can go and shop for the right players. So he's a great player. He will be a great add for any team. But again, if you take him to play on the right wing, then perhaps he's not the right player for the job. So I think they really need to get real in what they want to do, where they want to finish, because like Edgar said, you know, playing Champions League football is a big task. So you need to know where you want to go and then start building from there.
You can give them Todd Bowley's number, right? They can buy some of the Chelsea players.
You have some players to sell.
No, whatever.
On a more serious note, Edgar, Inter went out last night. We've seen Juventus go out tonight as well. As someone that's played in Italy, would you be concerned at all about the current situation of Italian football?
Yes and no, because what I said before, this whole tournament, World Cup, I don't really take it serious. I was in the States and I look at the stadiums, was not quite full, and it lacks a lot of ambience, you know. It still has to build, it's new, but I don't think the only importance now, I think, for the clubs, is that they gotta get a big bag of money. It doesn't add on anything for the players because they are tired. So the only thing is for a club to get the financial gain. And now you have to have the players, they have to rest. And we were discussing how much rest are the players going to get.
Yeah, I understand that. But also, you know, when you talk about that, you talk about teams having big squads and money to be able to have this, like, science team that can be able to, with the data, they can tell the managers how much load the player needs to play. I think these big teams now, they have all that in their, you know, in their disposal to be able to manage players. So for me, yes, it's been a fantastic tournament. You know, we've had so many upsets. Teams we see coming from Africa, Asia, playing against the bigger teams. This is what we want to see. We want to see those teams come and showcasing their talent. You know, those players that we never had of before, showcasing their talent. And then you never know, one of them might be picked up by United, City, you know what I mean, Real Madrid. So it's a good platform. Yes, it's a new tournament. It will get better, you know what I mean? So it takes time, but when you look at the tournament as well, the tournament has been, some of the games has been really, really good. You know, you watched the City game against Al Hilal yesterday. You know, it was packed, you know. And the upset you see, the games we saw, we didn't predict that Al Hilal would play the way they did. They knocked out Manchester City. You know, for me, yeah, it's just that, you know, that you see a smaller team playing against the big team. And it also shows us as well where Saudi Pro League is right now. You know, it's growing. The players there, they're not just going there for the money. The game is getting better. So for me, it's a fantastic platform to showcase these smaller teams playing against a bigger team.
No, I totally agree, but not everybody has 50 players on the roster, eh?
He's trying to get some off Chelsea, isn't he, for you guys? Just upset because you haven't got the players he wants at the moment. And you just had a great time being in the studio with us, haven't you? That's why you've enjoyed it so much. OK, then.